AITA for making my 15-year-old daughter get a job to pay for our dog's vet bills. I have 3 daughters, Phoebe, 19, Allie, 18, and Janie, 15. We also have a 2-year-old chiweenie, chihuahua wiener dog mix, Pebble. We were in the middle of a heat wave 2 weeks ago, with temperatures hitting 107. Small dogs are more sensitive to heat, so we don't let him go to the backyard for long periods of time, and the deck is off limits because there's no shade on the deck. The problem is Pebble loves the deck because he can watch the cars, people walking on the trail behind our house, and he can see our neighbors' chickens. Janie doesn't have first period and doesn't leave for school until 10 a few days a week. Both Allie and Phoebe leave between 9:30, so it's Janie's responsibility to make sure Pebble is inside, the fans are on, and he has water. 2 weeks ago, in the worst of the heat wave, Pebble was crying at the deck door. Janie got annoyed and let him go on the deck. Then she left for school and forgot him on the deck. Allie came home a few hours later and started looking for Pebble. She found him passed out on the deck and called me sobbing. I left work early, took him to the emergency vet. They treated him for heat stroke. He had to stay at the vet for a few days, and Allie was inconsolable while he was gone. She was constantly crying, she wouldn't eat or leave her room, and she had a panic attack every time the phone rang because she was terrified that it was the vet telling us that Pebble was gone. Pebble made a full recovery, but now we have an expensive vet bill, and Allie still has extreme anxiety around losing Pebble. Janie's upset because Allie hasn't spoken to her since she forgot Pebble on the deck, and Phoebe rarely speaks to her and doesn't hang out with her anymore. Janie was upset about Pebble when he was in the vet, but now she's very nonchalant about what happened because he's fine. My husband and I have been talking about what to do with Janie. We decided on making her get a job to pay for Pebble's vet expenses, close to $2,000 after insurance. Janie's very upset about it because she has to quit swim team to get a job and says that we're ruining her life over a mistake. Now I'm starting to wonder if I'm the asshole for making her quit swim team to get a job. Also, she can't get a job after swim season because soccer season starts right after swim season. Then after soccer season she has softball season, then summer training camps. NTA. She knew the routine and knew better than to let the dog out onto the deck in the first place. It doesn't matter how annoying he was, you do not gamble your dog's safety for some peace. Edit. Thank you everyone for the awards. Regardless of what some may say, dogs are family. Agree with you. I don't understand all the people saying it was a mistake and she learned from it. The mistake nearly killed an innocent life. Glad the dog turned out okay, but that is one hell of a mistake. The worst part is she doesn't even feel bad about it now that the dog is okay. Nothing about this is okay. NTA op. Make her get a job and pay the bill. I'd even suggest keeping a very close eye around her with the dog from now on too. Yeah, at 15, if I had made that mistake and learned from it, no one would have had to ask me twice to pay for it. The sacrifice she's having to make is the lesson. It's painful to fix a grave mistake. I gave it a lot of thought, read your responses to others, and here's my judgment. And here's why. Janie was clearly upset over Pebble's time in the vet. No doubt she already feels guilty and was traumatized by her mistake. Her sisters are being super nasty about it, making things worse, and on top of that, you want to make her take an action that would adversely affect her academically. And yes, sports are a part of academics. Athletes are required to keep up a certain GPA at both the high school and college levels. Without sports, many young athletes will actually give up on keeping their grades up. You admit that 2 of her sports, soccer and softball, are potential scholarship material. Well, a job that keeps her from performing in sports for even 1 academic year can destroy those chances. It can even be what keeps her from being accepted if it comes down to a choice between her and someone who missed no time in their chosen sports. Time also matters for things like starting position, etc. Further, at 15, her job options and hours are super limited. It will 100% take her several months, especially since, in most states, employees under 16 don't even have to be paid minimum wage. They can be paid less. I don't know about where you live, but in my state, minimum wage is $10.30 per hour. At 15, Janie would not be allowed more than 3 hours a day during the school year and no more than 5 days per week. So that's 150 weeks before taxes. After taxes, it's about 130 week. So it would take her close to 4 months to pay the vet bill. And that's if your local minimum wage is at least that high. If it's the federal minimum, it will take her more like 5 months. Minimum. So you would be taking months out of her life. Now that I'm done with that explanation, let's move on to Janie. She 100% knew what a responsibility was. She failed to follow through, and it resulted in Pebble almost dying. You almost lost a family member over her failure. So, assuming you've already had to pay off the bill, most vets won't do payment options, and most e-vets require payment up front. Janie needs to have a punishment that is appropriate so that she learns from her mistake. So ground her. No hanging out with friends. If she gets an allowance, don't give her her allowance until the bill is paid off. If she wants to pay it off faster, she can do yard work, shovel snow come winter, run errands, babysit, etc. in her free time. And make her do the research again, and this time make sure she actually understands it fully. Hard disagree with you about the sports being academics, in this case. The girl is a 3-season athlete. If soccer and softball are her promising sports, you can bet she'll be keeping her grades up so she's eligible when those seasons come around. The time spent working won't compromise that because they would have been spent at practice and not on academics anyhow. If she's serious about her other sports, this just isn't going to be an issue. Also, babysitting is very lucrative and could make it possible to earn money far more quickly than your calculations. I think a compromise of paying off half of the vet bill would be valid, with the experience of having a consequence making up the other half. AITA for not wanting to be a part of my husband's daughter's life? Okay, to start off, I 33F and my husband 34 meters have 2 daughters together. He cheated last year and got a woman pregnant. I've tried over and over to be civil with her, but every time I do she just wants to play head games. I've cut off any contact with her and have asked my husband to respect me and just tell me when he talks to her and how she and baby are doing. We got into a huge argument last night because he went behind my back and paid her car payment. I don't care that he paid it, it's the point that he didn't say anything or even ask my opinion. So he left last night. She is at the hospital right now having the baby. He has called me, along with her, and has asked me to come and sit with her because she doesn't want to be alone, as he has a very important doctor's appointment to go to. I don't want to go sit with her. I do not wish ill on her or the baby, I just do not want to be a part of it. It hurts too bad. AITA like his family is claiming? Edit. I should have added that I found out about the car payment situation last night. That started the argument. I have since made him leave, removed his things from my home, taken my name off of the shared bank account and contacted a lawyer. I was told I cannot get a divorce just yet because we have to be separated for a year. At first I did try to make this work, but after I found out about the car payment I realized I've been lied to the whole time. Made me wonder what else he could be hiding from me. I do not resent the baby at all. It is not her fault as it's not my own children's fault either. What? Am I correctly reading that your husband knocked up his mistress and you are being asked to be BFFs with the mistress through her pregnancy with their kid? Looking at my username as reference, do I have this correct? If I am correct, I'm not just going with NTA, but WTAF. No. You do not have to be buds with his mistress or sit with her in labor. You can GTFO of that relationship though. Maybe he wants them to be sister wives? Per second I do think her husband may have ousted you from your position because he certainly is dumb AF. I wouldn't want to sit through labor with a dear friend, never mind the other woman. NTA, but this situation is untenable. It seems like he's in an ongoing relationship with this woman and wants you to be sister wives or something. Asking you to go comfort his mistress is bizarro. I understand why you initially chose to stay with him since you have children together, but he isn't just asking you to accept the child, which yes you do have to do if you stay with him. He's trying to make the mom a part of your life. Car payments aren't child support, it's financially supporting his mistress. Going along with this situation just makes you a doormat. He cheated on you, got another woman pregnant, then has the audacity to ask you to sit in the hospital with his mistress while she gives birth? NTA, his family can sit with her or he can miss his appointment if they are so concerned with her having a support system at the birth. Whoosh. NTA. You have no obligation to go and that he or she would even ask is insane. Anyone with issues can go to the hospital and sit with her. Not your problem. I'd work on getting separate bank accounts, too. AITA for not letting my brother use the shower? I, 16F, do my makeup in the morning because it's something that forces me out of bed. My brother, 12 meters, prefers to shower in the morning. This morning I was in our shared bathroom doing my makeup when he blew up at me, saying, "My hygiene is more important than your looks." I don't think he meant to hurt me, but I fired back telling him if he cared so much maybe he should take a shower at night. He refused and said that he would attract germs in his bed. I offered to help him change his sheets every week so he didn't feel grimy, but he said he had to shower in the morning so he could go to school. The second part of this is my brother taking a shower every single morning wastes time. He refuses to set an alarm, so I end up waking him up when I wake up. There's about 20 minutes of time while I get dressed and brush my hair and wake up that he could have time to shower, but he's still sleeping during that time. On top of all of this, my father and I are still making his lunch. He knows how to make his lunch, he just takes a shower and ends up late for his bus, so he cries because he doesn't have his lunch and he's going to starve. I've tried to explain that there's an hour between when he wakes up and he's supposed to be completely ready. I take up maybe 20 minutes in that hour. I also explained that bathing every day can dry your skin out, so he could do it every other day, and he freaked out telling me if I do that I'm disgusting. We have a lot of life stuff going on right now, like my mother recently walking out on us and only seeing us every few months, so my dad says that my brother is processing in his own way. I know I should be patient with him, but he's been driving me crazy. I care about him a lot, but it seems like he doesn't understand. Should I be more patient? AITA? Edit for clarification. I can't do my makeup in my room because it's an old house and the lighting is atrocious. I can't see what I'm doing. If my brother woke up when he was supposed to, his shower wouldn't be making all of us late. He'd be in the shower while I'm getting ready, or even before while I'm prepping my school bag. We have to wait for him because sometimes his bus doesn't arrive on time, or he doesn't feel like going to school. I also just stay in the bathroom. I don't literally force him out. As much as we drive each other crazy, we respect each other's boundaries. I have a pretty standard morning schedule that I've told him about and explained when he could shower in the morning. He could also use my dad's shower when he finishes showering. Last, I know the makeup thing sounds dumb, but it's my form of self-care. I struggle with depression and it's how I stay on schedule, and it's how I feel good about myself. It forces me to put on an outfit and not go to school in what I wore to bed. NTA. Sounds like you've tried quite a lot to work with his, yours, and the bus schedule. I'm gonna go with a light AITA. I think the easiest solution is to get a lighted makeup mirror from the drugstore and do your makeup in your room. It's better anyway. The humidity in the bathroom can encourage more faster bacterial growth on your cosmetics. This is what I did as a kid in a poorly lit house. That way you get your self-care time, and so does he. Showering every day can dry out your skin if you have hard water, highly chlorinated water, or just use a harsh soap, but I will say he's entering puberty, and when I was a kid, a shower right before school was the only way to stave off being an oily swamp monster until the last class of the day. Showering at night would have made me an anxious, self-conscious mess during the day. Showering less than once per day. Eesh. You guys are dealing with a lot right now, and that's probably contributing to everyone's combative behavior, but if you guys can manage to do a reset on attitudes and focus on helping one another, it will go a long way for both of you. On lunches, help him with his lunch, but make him do it with you. Show him how to put together a balanced meal, and not just a lunchbox full of junk food, lol. I'm sorry you're in the situation you're in, but good luck and I hope you guys can come together through it all. NTA. You should be able to do your makeup in the bathroom where you have good lighting. If your brother is so concerned about getting a shower in the morning, then maybe he should get out of bed sooner and shower while you're getting dressed. Or if he doesn't want to get out of bed sooner, tell him to go use your dad's bathroom, because I saw in one of your comments that he has that option.